So welcome for Discord League Top 8 Cup. We're gonna have Miniindahouse playing Crab against Neojko playing Dragon. I'm searching for the password. Okay, that one. I'm giving them the go, and I will go through the deck list really quickly. So on one side we have a Keeper of Water, Crab player, Unicorn Splash. That's the pretty traditional deck we're seeing every single time. Have 3 Tekinges. Only 2 defenders. One Finger of Jade. The splash is 3 Spyglass, 2 Talisman, 3 Wayfinder. We have the 2 Tetsubos. 1 Assassination, 1 Way of the Crab combo is there. There is a Bonsai. And 1 Tricky Spreading the Darkness. Okay, that's a traditional crab deck with a few small differences. On the Dragon side, we have the traditional Fight on Mon deck on Keeper of Water with 2 Skirmisher, 3 Fighting, and 3 Reprieve for the splash. Restricted card being Void Fist. And for the crab one, I guess the restricted is Rebuild. Yeah, it is. So we're gonna jump into the game. Dragon playing the toss, winning the toss. What do you do here with Dragon? Like, you need to play the Mendicant, I guess. Ghost Way of the Crab is a card, and there is an Envoy in your opponent's row. And if you get ballsy and play the Mitsu, you can even sack the Yasuki if you had in the Envoy. So yeah. Yeah, there we see the Mendicant. One fate is to ensure he can prevent the Way of the Crab over multiple turns. And Dragon passes. Okay, he wants to bonk fate for the Mitsu. Crab has been playing only one Envoy on one Izuki, so that's possible that you can defend that, and especially if you have a few conflict characters. But he hasn't too much, he has only 5 in the deck. 2 Skirmisher and 3 Ancient Masters. Oh, 3 Tattooed Wanderer, I don't remember. 3 Tattooed Wanderer, sorry. I guess yeah, you just don't want to do any conflict here as Dragon. You just want to defend, stall the turn, and then go into the next turn. Next turn, you probably just ditch the Investigator, play a big B2, and if possible, another small character with a Fate. We see Envoy going in for the Void, so here the Crab player is trying to get rid of the Mendicant so that next turn he can still threaten the Way of the Crab, so that I think that's the proper play here. You likely don't defend that as Dragon, because like that's Restoration, so if Crab wants to break it, well, fine. You lose one of the 2 Mitsu copies, but like you still have the other one, and then you can defend the political conflict. Yeah, the crab board is pretty. The crab flip is pretty good, I agree. Yep. Okay, interesting. Neojko did force his crab to break by playing a Katana on the Envoy, so Crab immediately answered by way of the crab in his character. I understand the play from Crab to save his hand. Like that makes a lot of sense, but no, he cannot threaten any Way of the Crab anymore, so you're gonna see that huge Mitsu out. Because even if he takes a break now on the other province, which is possible but not guaranteed, yeah, I think it's really good for Dragon to have that way of threat out of the equation. Because now, like, you can play whatever character you want as. You just have to be careful not to invest too much onto your 1 and 2 costers because of assassination, and that's all. And also now assassination in the crab deck becomes a bit awkward because like without the combo it's much weaker. Well, it's much less interesting for crab to play. Crab now goes onto Shameful, code games himself. Let's see, I wonder he's gonna use the Shameful. And there we see the assassination. Oh, that was that was super happy for Dragon to have had the crab play the way of the crab to save his hand, because that assassination here combined with the way of the crab could have been terrible. So now you're gonna, yeah, you lose the Shameful. That's I think given how much crab has invested there, you're not in such a bad position as Dragon, right? Like you just play huge Mitsu next turn. You lost your Shameful display, which obviously is rough, but like crab still has a mine on a Kisela, so you're gonna have to deal with big stuff in front of you, but you're not in an awful position. You would be happy not to see Karada flipping too quickly, because that's usually the death of the Dragon player's deck. But obviously, next turn you just play Mitsu with a lot of fate. You might even want to play Mitsu and Investigator if you have the budget for it. Or you kept an Investigator and get another one. Crab flop is okay. Like you have the Vanguard Warrior, that's enough. You're gonna play your Kiseda. You're gonna use the mine to keep the Yasuki in play and the Vanguard Warrior to put a fate on the Kiseda. 4 Fate Mitsu and Dragon is gonna pass. Okay, it's interesting. We see Crab keep playing small characters rather than investing on this Kiseda. It's unshameful, I would say. You want to try to bait the Dragon player to come on the Kiseda province. So that would be because it's one that is of a high interest for you to me to hit. Also, it keeps banking Fate, and it can extend that Yazuki over time longer, like with the Vanguard Warrior and the Mine. And then you're gonna get a big Kisada dumped with a lot of Fate, so you're gonna have 2 big characters on the board. One from having a bunch of attachments, and the other one just being a powerhouse by himself. Going Fire trying to do Zunomitsu makes a lot of sense. Hitting upholding, guess you don't defend. I know you have Restoration of Balance and Pilgrim Age to defend as the Dragon player. Doesn't sound really good, honestly, because Crab is just going to break whichever the 2 is best. We see a Talisman going down to avoid it getting discarded. A Skirmisher, okay. That cover doesn't matter too much because Mitsu himself has covered. Unless, of course, the Crab player has a Cloud Domain, but then you play it now before Upholding breaks. So he probably doesn't have one. Otherwise, Dragon just discards the Cloud Domain. Okay, you have Cloud Domain. It's interesting. 2 Mountain. Okay, yeah, so he didn't discard it to give Dragon a tough choice. Because now you have to choose between the Reprieve, the 2 Mountain, the Cloud Domain, the Phaeton, to rebuild. Like, there is literally no good choice here. Well, there is only good choices, so the choice is tough. Yeah, we see the 2 Mountain going away from the value. That's probably okay. Thing is, now you eat your Cloud Domain on Mitsu. and your opponent has a covert, or you might have a let go. Yeah, he probably has a let go if he didn't. Not sure going in here is correct. Well, if he does, it's because he has a fight on. So you're gonna go political, he's going to court games himself, and then he's going to fight on. Oh, excuse me, I forgot. Yeah, with your fight on the Yasuki, triggering the Spyglass. That's the last time you see this deck because Spyglass is getting restricted. So there will be a tiny small change in the deck. I think Crab player can be re-insured. It's not going to be a huge change. Probably just Spyglass getting out for something else. There's a very interesting unicorn card called Barca that could help a lot. Bit expensive maybe, but it synergizes with the Forge really well. So I guess that would be the next inclusion to replace Spyglasses. So yeah, there comes the code games to honor his Mitsu. If Crab has another code game, you're pretty sad. He has to pay attention of the watch commander. Yeah, moving on to Shameful. That's bad. That's really bad. Dragon position here is not good, I would say. You can probably break this Shameful if you invest a bit of resources. Like if you have a Banzai and a Void Fist, it breaks. Very likely. Because we saw Crab hand and he had only one fighting. Okay, he passes. That's bad because now Crab's gonna go in. You're gonna have to fight on your one strength Mitsu, which feels awful. And if Crab wants, he can go only for the ring rather than the break, which I think here is pretty fine. You just go, you go air, I would say, applying some of pressure because Dragon, if he does not defend, is down to 4, and you have a Watch Commander on the table for next turn. So that would be my call. Yep, that Crab player is thinking the same. Do you go on Pilgrimage? I'm not sure. I think you're happy hitting but not breaking the restoration, which means you go. Okay, decides to go with both characters, with only one character onto the Pilgrimage, rather than hitting the restoration with just one character. Oh, but there is no Pilgrimage. Sorry, it's apologies. That's a keeper row. So it's Revels instead, which is even better for the Crab player. So yeah, Crab player choice was definitely correct here. No, you kind of. It's sad because as Dragon here, you feel compelled to try to win that ring because you're at 6 honor, but I don't understand why Crab didn't go also with the Tekinja here, honestly. Like, yeah, sure, you're keeping 2 for the glory counts, but does it matter? Oh, we see a Jade Tetsubo. That's rough. That's super rough. I think if you have a let go as Dragon, you play it there. You don't have the right not to. I don't think Crab has a defend Urinal, right? We didn't saw one in his hand. Well, he has drawn at least with a Spyglass, so no defend Urinal. There has been one Spyglass draw in between. I think you still have to let go if you have one. Oh, that's super rough. No, let go. So that Mitsu is going away. You lose one honor from the ring. You lose one honor from Mitsu leaving play. You might have a reprieve, but like, do you want to play a reprieve on that Mitsu? And that's already your second copy. I think Dragon is in a terrible position there. Yeah, that would wonder going in, but that really sounds like a desperate play, trying to get an Earth Ring. Tekinja defending. Uh, yeah, actually that makes sense for the crab player to have kept the Tekinja out to prevent an undefended conflict from the dragon. There we see a Void Fist. So Province is gonna break. Mine is gonna go away unless Crab has a conflict character, which is very unlikely. And another Phyton is also unlikely. Because if you had one, you immediately play it on the Yazuki, I would say. Oh no, a conflict character? Okay, he drew one. That's what he drew from the Spyglass. Okay, that's pretty good because no dragon has to do something else to break. There was your Fine Katana. So that's enough even with the Stronghold activation. So Crab would need something else. Yeah, exactly, Suri. He Tetsubo'd Skirmisher into Mitsu. And yeah, I think next turn, well, Crab has expanded a huge amount of fate here. But if he has a but yeah, the mine would have kept the Skirmisher into play, which is going to happen because of the rebuild. So now Crab keeps Skirmisher, Yazuki, and Tekinja into the next turn, while Dragon will have his one strength Mitsu and a Tattooed Wanderer. Doesn't sound good, but he has a few fates, so he might do something. Also, Crab has a really small hand now, so if Dragon can play that Investigator and keep it around, it's going to be very bad for Crab. But I still don't like Dragon position there. Because no Crab doesn't care anymore about hitting Restoration and breaking it. That province has lost like 99% of its scariness with the Errata. Which is fair because before Errata it was too strong, but now it feels it's a bit weak. Though the Katana into Way of the Crab, his own character from Crab, early on the first turn, probably literally saved the game from the Dragon player because otherwise he would have eaten the Way of the Crab on a 4 Fate Mitsu, and I don't think he would have been able to come back in the game after that. There was still a chance now for Dragon to survive. So Crab keep his big Kisada, flips a card, that's awful for Dragon. Because now your attachments are not your attachments anymore, they are the opponent's attachments. So it means he can't even really use any other characters than the monk wants to play Void Fist, otherwise the card has still the seals. And you can't Void Fist. That's really, really bad situation for the dragon player. What do you do here as crab? Yeah, dragon is first, sorry. So you probably go. You don't want to go water because you don't want to give him the fate. And anyway, he has a witch hunter. So unless you have a cloud, you could cloud the witch hunter. So you go water with the wanderer. Oh yeah, political investig. Disagree with that. That would wander. Honestly, it's gonna get stolen. And we see a finger of jade. Interesting. Uh, that's weird. Did he just forget that Karada is on the table? Very honestly, I'm the crab player. I steal the corvette. No, he's gonna go water. He's gonna bow your stuff, Claudio Vicente. That's the manicured. If you can break the manicured with the Kisada on it, that's pretty good. And I think he has a court games. Going with both characters kinda told me that he wants to court game on you on this Mitsu. Well, it's also to have the double covert, obviously, but okay, 3 against 3. Not sure you're gonna have a chance to break that. I think he just tried to win the ring as dragon here. And yeah, Crab is just going to use a stronghold. You pray for him not to have another watch commander, I hope. First action is gaining a fate. Okay, that might be a mistake based on what you have on hand. In hand. Fight on skirmish reprieve. Okay. I would discard. Yeah, fight on is discarded. Mm. There is the +1 from the stronghold. Court games. Yep, there it is on Mitsu. So now you win that water conflict, and you might even try to break. You have not to forget Karada effect, but you can like. Before the court games, I would have given +2 to my investigator to be sure that Karada wouldn't steal an attachment from him. There we see the cloud divine. Yeah, that makes a whole lot of sense. Like all of the line of plays assemble perfectly here. Like the Phaeton discarded to avoid display being totally useless. The Witch Hunter getting Cloud to avoid the Water Ring being useless. The Water Ring used to bow the Shoot Yasuki. Yeah, that's a very, very good line of play from Dragon here. And he might have a Phaeton, honestly. He didn't play the one yet. Oh, he played one, sorry. Okay, Dragon position might not be as desperate as we thought. Especially because the Stronghold province can leverage a lot of power. But Amitsu is going to leave now, so. Okay, Mini is passing. Dragon is going to give Investigator +2. Oh no, he plays a Void Fist on the Witch Hunter. Okay. Wait, what happened? What happened here? I think that's a bug, right? He should have been able to send the Witch Hunter back home. Okay, misclicked. Oh yeah, you cannot cancel. You cannot cancel those abilities. It's the same then with Kudenizawa. Just do it manual. It's going to be a bit tedious, but no, it's not. Yeah, but then you need to remove one of the Hurricane punches. Yeah. I will let them solve that, but I think the correct line of play is just to manual everything, yeah. Oh, that's fine. Dragon still has an action. So he play Hurricane punches from the discard using Mitsu, which means there is only one. Yeah, that's going to be messy. Okay, thanks, Rich. Shoots, that's interesting to know. You can actually pass an action without the game considering you passed it by going into manual and clicking onto your roll. So Mitsu gets +2 from the Hurricane Punch. I know he's going to Void Fist the Witch Hunter with a Void Fist from hand, very likely. But then there is the problem that his discard pile is going to be in the wrong order because there should be Hurricane Punch below. But no, it's correct. It's political. So there comes the Void Fist. Yeah. So that's the second one played from Dragon. And Mistu's been used this turn. So we'll need to find a way to defend Restoration of Balance and the Stronghold during the two conflicts this turn. Which is only possible because the Yasuki is bought by the Water Ring. Oh, Mitsu goes back home. And now the Stronghold is gonna give Investigator +2, but that's really a huge mistake from, yeah. Uh, yeah, that's weird. I don't understand why. I guess he wants to keep the Karada for potential reprieve, which would be absolutely devastating. Yeah, I think that. Yeah, I think that's the correct play. You keep the Karada for the reprieve. So Manicured's broken, and Dragon still has a lot to do during this turn. Why Crab isn't in such a good position here? Why only two cards in hand that Dragons knows about? It's another skirmisher, and can't remember the second one. A reprieve. So Crab passes his conflicts. Okay. I'm not too sure about that, honestly. Like you can. Oh yeah, it does not have. You can still attack with the skirmisher, right? It's been played previous turn, so it doesn't have coverage, so you can't defend against Dragon's coverage. Okay, Dragon's fine shameful. That's super bad. Talisman immediately moves him away. No defense for Crab. Okay. So meditation breaks. Keeper discarded. Um, very honestly, why not defending for Crab here? Like you defend with the Tekinjai, you use your shameful display on the Mitsu, then you move the conflicts. Oh yeah, you're afraid of let go. Yeah, that makes sense. But honestly, your dragon you play let go before the conflict if you have it. And there we see the other skirmisher with the coverts. So they're gonna go to restoration, obviously. They're gonna go fire to disannul. Well, Mitsu doesn't matter. Air, yeah. That's two less fate for dragon. Yeah, air is correct because now the watch commander is really. Honestly, you should try. If you see the early turns, it really looked like Crab was going to just monstrously butcher the dragon player, and we actually went pretty close to that. We almost got an assassination into Way of the Crab on 4 Fate Mitsu, which would have been like really bad. Well, that could have been potentially a thing. So yeah, fight on Mitsu to defend. Hurricane Punch, yeah. So he only loses the airing but not the province. It feels really bad when you have to defend the restoration of balance as Dragon. I can understand more and more why Dragon players have been ditching it in favor of another province. So yeah, Crab keeping his board in play. It's a bit surprising that Crab hasn't been playing the yeah. Yeah, taking control of the Tattooed Wanderer. Yeah, Crab board still looks much better than the Dragon one. Raitsugu, another investigator, and another swordsmith. That's not good. Because I do swordsmith against Karada are really, really bad. Guess you want to play the Raitsugu, but like it doesn't help. It's not good for Crab either, actually, because well, you have a Yuyazuki, which is definitely good for your draw. Both players are gonna get constrained to be the one here. Dragons just play Raitsugu free fate, yeah, bid one on both sides. Yeah, he definitely needed Mitsu to stick, but like he ate the Tetsubo. And he couldn't play a reprieve if he had one because of the Karada. So yeah, I mean, playing reprieve on Karada when you need your character to stick is just awful because it doesn't stick, and a character from your opponent does instead. So it's more or less game, I think. And then Dragon has to break 2 provinces because of the talisman. Crab board looks pretty huge compared to Dragon. Crab going Earth with Yasuki on the balance deck, you just want to break that province anyway. You're not gonna go on the Rebels, doesn't matter. This one is technically blank for the rest of the game. Coveting right to so I think Dragon can't defend that. Like you can try, but like there is no way you succeed. And with the Watch Commander, you can't really play a card here. You don't have enough honor to do so. Okay, it defends a lot. You can try to remove cards from the crab hand, which is good, I guess. Yeah, Investigator is probably enough, I agree. You can't do too much about the earthing firing here. Okay. I don't know about that stronghold being used first action. Well, maybe he just want the Karada not to steal his Finger of Jade, but like it doesn't sound that good. Because I'm not sure Crab would have stolen that. There's a thing here is Crab player needs a reprieve to save this Yazuki at the end of the turn, because if he doesn't, it means he needs a rebuild, and if he rebuilds, Karada gets away. And yeah, okay, that's interesting, because I think he has played 2 rebuilds already, right? Yeah, 2 rebuilds. So he will have to choose between Karada and saving the Yazuki. So if Dragon can stay alive, he might actually have a chance going into the next turn. Because he will be first player, he will get the first shot at the stronghold. He will have a bunch of fate, because I guess like as Dragon here you go Void for your next conflict. It's +3 fate and you can get the other Yazuki out of the board. So what you have to do is literally stay alive. Oh, that's rough. We see Restoration breaking and the 3rd copy of Mitsu getting discarded. That's really bad. What did he saw in the crab player hand? Nothing. Oh yeah, he did, sorry. He saw Rebuild, Wayfinder, and Talisman. Yeah, okay. Rebuild is good because now it grants that Crab has no saves for next turn, so he really needs to survive this turn. He needs to save his stronghold. And that's not going to be easy, actually. Like, you kind of need to go Void. Because if you leave Free Fate for the Crab player here, it's bad. And you kind of like want to try to get rid of one of those characters. But then you really have to be confident into your ability to defend with Raitsugu. And your stronghold will have no effect because you don't have a monk in play. and your third me2 copy getting discarded is also quite of a problem. So yeah, crab defense uses the stronghold, which means defense will be successful. And I think at Dragon you just let that go. Like, yeah, you don't try more here. You can't afford to spend cards in this conflict when you have to defend the next one. We might see no, Crab has had his two mountain discarded from the upholding trigger on the first conflict of the game. Yeah, the Witch Hunter is clouded from the turn he did the nice play with the Water Ring, which is like probably the only reason why he's still in the game. He did a Water Ring conflict with Investigator, during which he discarded a Phaeton from using the Investigator ability and bowing the Yasuki from the Water Ring, and that's where the game that's the play that kept him alive in this game. But without that, he would have lost the game. Yeah, no monks here feels really bad. But I mean, if you have a seal, you can't even play it because Crab is going to steal it for sure. Like you would need to have two to be able to play a seal. But actually, you just need to survive the turn. Because no Crab board is going to be much less impressive, right? Yeah, it's good not to kill Envoy there. That's something he. Yeah, of course, half the player would have done it, and like I'm pretty sure, like 3 months. Yeah, let's be kind and say 6 months ago, he would have done it too. Like he tended to be in the past really aggressive with Raitsugu uses, and after killing his own Raitsugu a few times, he started to be a bit more temperate about using him. Yeah, he has a talisman in hand, but maybe Dragon will have a let go. I think he used only one. He didn't even use one actually. So there's potentially 3 let goes. It's very likely he has one. Yeah, it's big for the Dragon player here that the whole crab board is slaving. I think if Dragon has a let go, he wins. And if he doesn't, he might lose. Like everything can goes down to that let go. Yeah, sorry, I think there is a big, let's say a significant level discrepancy between those two players. And given how complicated was the situation for the Dragon here, I think it navigated it like pretty nifty. And then he just vomits a board and he's gonna try to break. Yeah, I don't see Crab surviving that, honestly. And if Dragon has a let go here, it's over. You will have 7 cards, maybe even more. I'm not sure you can. Yeah, he has a Mia Mystic, so yeah, with the Mia Mystic, I think it's fine. Like if Crab player plays let go, you just bid one. If Crab plays a let go, you just sack your Mystic. That game is over. And Crab decides to throw a bit more. Yeah, sorry. I think the game is won for Dragon here. I'm trying to think about what Crab could do to defend. Well, defend with everything, obviously, and then blow your Stronghold would work. Sorry, but then that would probably just push you into the next turn, where Crab would very likely lose all the same. Dragon board is kind of stabilized now. Okay, Cloud the Mind on a Yazuki to ensure that it is not going to draw more cards. That's... I'm not sure I like it, but it's like not... It's never bad. Well, actually, yeah, it's the correct play. Because, like, clouding Tekinja doesn't matter, clouding the Vanguard doesn't matter, Under Witch is already clouded. Yeah, all in on the River of Gold. I guess you can swap Investigator stats for -2. 15 on watering. Yeah, the watering here makes a lot of sense because if he doesn't break, then he can bow some stuff to ensure Crab won't be able to have a conflict in return. Yeah, there we are. 15 against 11. And now we're gonna have... Yeah, a shrewd Yatsuki dying. Um, yeah, okay, makes sense. I guess well, yeah, we might see the Desperate Talisman from the Crab player, but that's totally useless because it's gonna get mysticked away. It removes one strength for the Dragon player, but that's never gonna be enough. I think now as the Dragon player, I use my Stronghold immediately. Yeah, too late. Oh, he used the Finger of Jade, sorry, to cancel the effect of the River of Gold, playing a fan, but no fan got stolen by District, so it's still not breaking. And we see another fan, and now it's breaking, and Karada is offline. And we still have the Stronghold on for the Dragon player, so there is literally no way the Crab player can answer that. Dragon does not have. Dragon has a Void Fist left, I think, but that doesn't really matter here. Uh, yeah, he has one left. Yeah, sacrificing the Mia Mystic to removing the Desperate Talisman. Seal of the Dragon for the Void Fist. There we are. The last one, Void Fist. Or just for the +1 political, actually. Yeah. Well, congratulations to the Dragon player. Yeah, kind of agree that Watch Commander would have been bad here. Well, thank you very much for watching. I will leave you there. And congratulations again to the Dragon player here, who is now going to be in the top 4 after Discord League 16.